And, it was another day, another 30-point night for Steph Curry. It's like ho-hum at this point. He would finish with 34 points, and the Warriors would roll past the Thunder 118-97. The Warriors move into 8th place in the Western Conference. And it was superstar versus superstar when Kyrie and the Nets took on Luka and the Mavs. Kyrie would lead the game with 45 points. However, Luka and the Mavs pulled away, winning at 113-109. The Nets have now lost 4 straight. The Wizards needed OT to defeat the Raptors 131-129. Russell Westbrook finished with another triple-double. Westbrook is 1 triple-double shy of tying Oscar Robertson for the most triple-doubles all time. And Anthony Davis was ruled out of the second half of a 118-94 Lakers loss to the Clippers because of back spasms. Davis, along with LeBron James, is another Lakers star who made the return from a long-term injury, only to go back on the mend with the regular season quickly slipping away. So happy to have Kendrick Perkins now with us. And Kendrick, I got to ask you, as of this morning, how much trouble do you feel the Lakers are in?
They're in a lot of trouble right now. Look, it's only 6 games left in the season for the Los Angeles Lakers, and they're not even close to healthy. When you look at Anthony Davis, to me, he was just starting to find his rhythm last game, and now he's went out again. He's planning to play tonight, but he's still not 100%. LeBron James is only 65%. Dennis Schroeder is in protocol right now. So, and when you look at what's happening, it's not like your typical season where guys are able to come back and have practice and be able to have some 5-on-5 scrimmaging in practice before games. No, games are their practice. And I keep telling people, you could do all the wind sprints you want. You could do all the shooting that you need to do, the skills work that you can. Nothing gets you ready like playing the game of basketball. So in order to be able to have that workload on your legs and be able to get your rhythm back, you have to play the game of basketball.
It's the perils of that truncated season. So if LeBron and AD are not at or at least somewhere near 100% come playoff time, are they still your favorites to come out west?
I mean, come on now. Listen. They are done. There's no way. If they're not close to healthy, their ceiling is the second round. Now, you have to look at what LeBron James and Anthony Davis had to do last year in the bubble in order for the Lakers to win their championship, right? LeBron James almost had to average a 30-point triple-double. Anthony Davis was looking like a baby Shaquille O'Neal, down low, the way he was killing. They put up historical numbers, and they were healthy. So this is how much they have to bring to the table in order for this Los Angeles Lakers team to win another title. And I'm not saying that it couldn't be done or it can't be done, but it's damn sure not going to be done if both of those guys are not 100%.
Okay, I just want to ask you this because I think a couple weeks ago I would have been stunned to hear you say that. But now I wonder, with them possibly slipping into the play-in tournament, do you see them getting out of the first round or the early rounds at that point, given where they are right now?
No, I really don't. I really don't. And look, if LeBron James and Anthony Davis is 100%, they're my clear-cut favorite. But they're not. And when you look at the teams that are in the Western Conference that are at the top of the charts, the Clippers, the Utah Jazz, the Phoenix Suns, the Denver Nuggets, and even the Portland Trail Blazers, it is extremely difficult in the Western Conference. And without a healthy LeBron James and Anthony Davis, their ceiling with them not being healthy is the second round. That's their ceiling. They may get bounced in the first round because they need those two guys. And you know my saying, they need Anthony Davis and LeBron James healthy like old people need soft shoes, and preferable New Balances, okay?
They are nice, aren't they? I would prefer some New Balances right now. All right, Big Friday. Thank you so much for joining us on a beautiful morning here from Pier 17 in New York City. I'm Ryan Smith in for Greeny, and we have got a jam-packed show for you today. And take a look who we've got with us to break it all down. We got Graz, Jeff Saturday, Bart Scott, chomping at the bit, waiting to talk some football. The gang is all here, so let's go. But first, I want to start you out in the NBA because what a game it was last night. The Lakers, man, they are on the ropes. Let's go to the highlight. Anthony Davis and the Lakers taking on the Clippers. And I'll tell you, Anthony Davis, the injury bug started early, just over 3 minutes into the game. Davis misses that jumper, and then watch him. Falls to the court. Trips over the video board right there. Now you watch it again. Shoots the airball three right there, but then trips, falls, doesn't see the board. He finished 2 of 9 in the first quarter in the first 9 minutes. Didn't return for the rest of the game. Lakers called it back spasm. Just over 2 minutes left in the half. Clippers up by 21. Paul George nailing it right there for the corner three. Ballmer fired up. George had 24. And then under 4 minutes left in the third. Kawhi dominating, coming up with that loose ball. He had 15. Clippers blow out the Lakers 118-94. Here's AD after the game.
I know the spirit in the locker room is still high. I mean, guys came in after the game and said, put it behind us. We got down with the ball. So guys are still great with their minds and their spirit about, the rest of the season. And obviously we're fighting for playoffs. And tomorrow's probably the biggest game after these games. So, guys are still optimistic and we're still fighting. And guys' spirits are still high.
Okay, so the spirits are high, but are this team's playoff hopes? Starting tonight on ESPN against Portland, the Lakers have 6 games remaining on their schedule. They're favored in 4 of those 6 contests, but they only have a 56% chance to earn a top 6 spot in order to avoid the play-in tournament. Jay Will's with us now to talk about Laker troubles. Okay, so Jay Will, LeBron is banged up. Now Anthony Davis is banged up. On a scale of 1 to 10, in terms of really contending to win the championship, are you worried about the Lakers?
10.
Whew.
It's 10. And that's the reality of where we are. Truncated season. People thought LeBron James was going to load manage. Hasn't load managed. Now dealing with the high ankle sprain. That doesn't go away, man. You deal with that for the rest of the season. That only heals in the offseason after having multiple months to go to therapy for that. AD banged up. How is he going to handle? By the way, he still had that Achilles injury he came back with. Dennis Schroeder out for 10 to 14 days. 10 to 14 days for a guy that is probably your 3rd leading scorer on this team. So, yes, you're worried about them. A big-time game tonight against the Portland Trail Blazers. They could be in that play-in scenario. They will be in that play-in scenario. And in your first round, you're telling me you have to go against the Utah Jazz or the Phoenix Suns? I know those teams don't want to see the Lakers, but those teams at full health going against the injury-prone Lakers, they're going to smell blood in the water, and they're going to have home court advantage.
Now, if I told you both LeBron and AD would be close to 100%, what would that mean come playoff time? Would they still be your favorite to come out of the West?
Yes. If you're telling me that LeBron is trending at 80% and AD at 90%, they would still be my favorite. Because at the end of the day, LeBron James is the maestro that makes everything happen. He unlocks everybody on this team. We talk about greatness. Last year, he used the hashtag #WashKing to stay motivated. He's been out. He's been out for a month. He needs to be out. He needs to rest. But him coming back on an ankle sprain, high ankle sprain, if he's able to go through the Western Conference and then say he meets the Brooklyn Nets in the World Championship, if he were to go through the Western Conference, then Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, like that catapults him into a different conversation. It does. He would have gone through the Golden State Warriors and the Brooklyn Nets. I don't think any other player in the history of the game have gone through that loaded of teams.
And to win in a situation like that with what you're talking about,
truncated season,
possibly with that ankle sprain lingering into the playoffs, we'll see. Okay, so given LeBron's age, all the wear and tear that he's been through, how worried are you at him getting another crack at the championship?
I'm always worried about LeBron James, but I'm not betting against him. I've said this before. Look, people can say whatever they want to say about me and LeBron James because I've made statements about, back in the day, comparing him a little bit to Scottie Pippen, just mentality-wise, before he became more Michael Jordan, a leader, right? Even if it was like, hey, Michael Jordan would never say things like, I'll never be 100% in my career. That's fine. You can come at me with all that. I'm not betting against this dude. This dude is unique. He is one of one. He is different. If there's anybody that can come back off a high ankle sprain and play through a truncated season and still win a world championship, it is number 23. And that's not MJ, that's LeBron James.
Wow.
He's built for it.
I got to tell you, let's put it in context, by the way. The stakes high for this game against the Blazers. If they lose that game, the world champs would, at this moment, end up